Hi, this is Tamara here from the EFT Training Centre, and I am absolutely delighted to be joined with Andrea today. Andrea is one of our EFT trainees. She's done our training and she's now a student of EFT, waiting to become a practitioner. And you come from the pharmaceutical industry, but more relevantly, you've just had the COVID virus.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining me, and perhaps you could share a little bit about your experience with the COVID virus. What was it like?
Well, after self-isolating for 14 days, I just want to be grateful I'm here. The first sign started on a Sunday morning when I made a pancake. It sounds weird, and I couldn't taste it. It tasted like I was eating paper, cardboard, anything like that.
Wow.
And I thought, this is strange. Anyway, I didn't think anything of it. And by the afternoon, I was coughing and coughing and coughing. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is it. By the Sunday evening, I had a temperature. I isolated myself, and then the journey began. The COVID journey began. And it was the breathing that I couldn't cope with. I couldn't breathe properly. So I thought, I need to help myself. I really need to help myself to stop myself going in hospital. And the one thing I did was I reached out to your videos, Tamara, and did the breathing technique. And I used it every time I coughed, and the coughing would stop. And it lasted for 48 hours, and then the cough went completely. So every time I had an experience where I couldn't breathe and I was coughing, I put your video on. You lived with me in my isolation room for 48 hours and looked and followed you and just kept the headphones in, and I just concentrated, and I tapped and I breathed and I tapped and I breathed. And after 48 hours, I didn't cough again. End of.
Wow.
So it was an amazing, for me, it was almost like a spiritual changing. I don't know. It was so big. It was so big for me. And I kept on doing transform, and I kept on breathing, and at the end of it. And basically, I can't tell you what a journey it's been. It's been amazing. But without the video, I am following you, doing the tapping, and being able to see you encourage me to keep the breathing going, keep doing it till it eventually cleared. And the word shift, when we say in tapping we have a shift, I felt the shift. I felt shift. I could breathe. I could take air down into the lungs, which I wasn't doing.
Wow.
That's my story. And now that was about a week ago.
Amazing.
So now I'm fully recovered.
That's fantastic. That's so good to hear. So we're going to do some EFT now, and you've got something that you'd like to tap on, but I'm actually wondering, for the people watching and wondering what this breathing technique is, maybe we could first demonstrate it together.
Yes.
And then we could do some tapping on the COVID related issue that you would like to do. And so if you're watching this now, and then please do hit the share button if you know anyone who could benefit from this breathing technique, because as you heard, it helped Andrea, and it also helped one of the cruise ship that was in Japan. There was a COVID patient there who used it, the same breathing technique, in order to stop him needing to go on a ventilator. So the reason I'm making these daily videos is because there is a virus out there, and it is affecting a certain percentage of the population. But there's a bigger virus out there as well, which is the fear virus. And EFT can help with the breathing, but it can also help on so many different emotional aspects related to the virus. So I would like to make tapping an even bigger virus than the fear virus. So if you've never dit's EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques. It's like acupuncture for emotion without the use of needles. And the invitation is to simply do what I do and say what I say. And if you don't like what I do and say, then simply don't do it. So we're going to do the constricted breathing technique now, just to demonstrate how you do that. So first of all, what we ask you to do is just to take three deep breaths, just so that you can assess your level of breathing. And I'm sure that, Andrea, when you were doing it, you weren't doing this, you were just doing the tapping. But for those of you watching now, yeah. So let's do that together. Let's take 3 full deep breaths. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a 4th deep breath. And with this deep breath, what I'd like you to do is to assess the depth of the breath. If 10 would be a completely full breath, if you were able to fully and deeply breathe into all of your lungs, then that would be a 10. And take a deep breath and see how far you feel that you can breathe into right now. So for me, I'd say I think it was about a 7. But you know, what did you feel, Andrea, when you did that?
About 6 for me.
About 6. And when you were at the top of your breath, how did it feel? What was the sensation at the top of your breath?
The top of the breath felt restricted and a little bit of pressure. Like if you were to, I'm going to demonstrate how I feel. If you get your fist and put it there, that is constriction. It's there.
Constriction. Kind of like in the centre of your chest.
Yes.
Centre of.
Yes, definitely.
It's interesting because for me the constriction is higher up. I feel like the tension level here. So it's interesting that for different people feel it in different areas. So if you want to type in the comments what you feel, if I see it on the comments, I'll build that into the tapping as well. So let's do some tapping now. And because we are going to be touching our faces, if you haven't washed your hands or used hand sanitizer, please do that now. And I trust, Andrea, that your hands are clean.
I do it 300 times a day, so yes.
Okay, thank you. So even though
I
have this constricted breath,
it
feels like a pressure.
It feels like a pressure.
And a constriction.
And a constriction.
In the centre of my chest.
In the centre of my chest.
I acknowledge my breath.
I acknowledge my breath.
Just as it is.
Just as it is.
And just as it isn't.
And just as it isn't.
So tapping through the points, starting with the top of the head. Restricted breath.
Restricted breath.
Pressure.
Pressure.
Constriction.
Constriction.
In the centre of my chest.
In the centre of my chest.
Tightness.
Tightness.
And when you had the COVID virus and you were doing the tapping, I can imagine there being fear and anxiety, or what were the emotions that were there?
Fear, total fear. Because having watched the news and all the people in hospital, I thought that's going to be me. Okay, so let's just add in total fear. Total. If people are watching it and they've got the virus, total fear. Total fear. Okay, I'll read that later, Ruth. I just I can't comment on that right now because, yeah, but I will comment on that. Thank you. Sorry, just someone's put a little comment here, Andrea. Okay. So all this restriction. All this restriction. And all this constriction. And all this constriction. And all this pressure. and all this pressure
and tightness
and tightness
in the center of my chest,
in the center of my chest,
and this fear.
and this fear.
I've watched the news.
I've watched the news.
I know how serious this can get.
I know how serious this can get.
And I really don't want to end up in hospital.
And I really don't want to end up in hospital.
All of this constriction.
All of this constriction.
Allowing myself to feel it now fully.
Allowing myself now to feel it fully.
So that I can relax into it.
So I can relax into it.
Relax into the constriction.
Relax into the constriction.
It's okay for it to be here.
It's okay for it to be here.
Even if it feels scary.
Even if it feels scary.
All of this constriction and restriction.
All of this constriction and restriction.
And pressure.
And pressure.
In the center of my chest.
In the center of my chest.
Tightness.
Tightness.
And fear.
And fear.
I wonder what it would feel like.
I wonder what it would feel like.
If I were able to take a full deep breath.
If I was able to take a full deep breath.
Rich in oxygen.
Rich in oxygen.
Helping my immune system.
Helping my immune system.
Helping all the functions in my body.
Helping all the functions in my body.
I wonder if I can get more than enough oxygen.
If I can get more than enough oxygen.
With the level of my breath right now.
With the level of my breath right now.
And as you tap on your chin, just take a full deep breath in now. Breath deep in oxygen.
Breath deep in oxygen.
Noticing the constriction.
Noticing the constriction.
And maybe I can let a little bit of this constriction go.
I can let a little bit of this constriction go.
So that I can breathe a little bit more easily.
So I can breathe a little bit more easily.
And get even more oxygen.
And get even more oxygen.
Into every cell in my lung.
Into every cell in my lung.
Filling my lungs with vitality.
Filling my lungs with vitality.
And energy.
And energy.
And healing.
And healing.
Vibrant energy in my lungs.
Vibrant energy in my lungs.
And if that vibrant energy had a colour, what colour would it be?
My colour would be very, very strong blue.
Beautiful. Very, very strong blue.
Very, very strong blue.
Infusing every cell of my lungs.
Infusing every cell of my lungs.
All the alveoli.
All the alveoli.
Bringing more energy.
Bringing more energy.
More vibrant health.
More vibrant health.
More healing.
More healing.
Stronger immunity.
Stronger immunity.
Super immunity.
Super immunity.
More oxygen.
More oxygen.
More health.
More health.
Nourishing oxygen.
Nourishing oxygen.
Entering my lungs now.
Entering my lungs now.
With every breath I take.
With every breath I take.
And say transform and take a deep breath.
Transform. Brilliant.
So how do you feel? How do you feel now? How it's changed?
I'd say that's dropped to a 3, and the constriction has moved. The fist feeling in the chest has softened. It's loosened. It's changed position a bit. I can't explain it. It's moved from that central point.
Wonderful. That's so. If anyone's, please do share in the comments. I'd love to hear how you feel. And the idea is to repeat this as often as you need to, so that you can help with each time you tap, the breath is going to feel better and expand more and feel more relaxed. So it's not just about doing it once, but it's about doing it over and over until you feel better. So Andrea, you also, that's great. There's Ruth is watching us and she's saying she's feeling calmer. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. So what we're going to do now is, you shared that you've got some anxiety with your dad. Would you like to say a little bit about that?
I think my anxiety, listening to the news again and all the reports, I think we're overwhelmed with it, but it did cross my mind, and I got very upset this morning about the elderly people. My dad's going to be 90 next year. He has underlying health conditions. My sister has to go and care for him and look after him because his carers aren't allowed to go anymore. And I just worry that if he got sick, say he got an accident, like he fell and hurt his hip or his knee, and he went to hospital, would they help him? Or would they just say, you know, he's 90, he's had a good life, we're not going to put him on a breathing machine, we're not going to. And that is my anxiety for Dad. And I think it must be common for a lot of people, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm dealing with today.
Thank you. Thank you. And I can relate to that as well. My dad as well, underlying health issues, and he's told me that actually he has to have a blood test in the hospital today, and I'm like, tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
So yes, I can definitely relate, and I'm sure that a lot of people watching could relate to that kind of fear. So when you think about think about your dad going into hospital, not that he needs to right now, but when you think about that, what's the emotion that's there for you?
Panic that I might not see him again. Panic that will they care for him? And it makes me feel a bit sick, actually. I'm feeling it in my stomach, a bit nausea. I don't know why, but I do.
Thank you. Okay, so let's do some tapping. So even though I listen to the news
and
it's overwhelming, and I worry about the elderly people, particularly my dad. He's nearly 90. He has underlying health issues. And if he gets sick or has an accident, will they actually help him? And I can feel this panic that I might not see him again. And I feel a bit sick in my stomach. And nauseous. And I soothe and comfort myself. So just tapping through the points now. Panic. I might not see him again. Feeling a bit sick. In my stomach. And nauseous. About my dad. And if he were to have to go into hospital. I might not see him again. All of these feelings. And this panic. And anxiety. And feeling a bit sick. In my stomach. I might not be able to see him again.
I might not be able to see him again.
And if you're tapping, is anything changing? Are you feeling the same, better, worse?
Feeling a bit lighter. I was quite upset at the beginning, but it's changing.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so all of this remaining panic.
All of this remaining panic.
And this feeling sick.
And this feeling sick.
That I might not be able to see him again.
I might not be able to see him again.
It's upsetting to think about.
It's too upsetting to think about.
And I can feel that upsetting feeling now.
And I can feel that upsetting feeling now.
And by allowing this upsetting feeling.
By allowing this upsetting feeling.
To be present.
To be present.
I can start releasing it.
I can start releasing it.
And letting it go.
And letting it go.
And I'm just wondering, as we're tapping, if it feels possible to let it go, or if it feels that if I let it go, it would mean that I don't care. I mean, sometimes people have that, but I don't know if that's going on.
I think in order to stop one getting overwhelmed, I think you have to learn to let go of some of these thoughts and feelings, because if you carry them with you all day, they're too disruptive. And you've got to have the balance. And if you can't get the balance, then you're in trouble emotionally.
Thank you.
So I am beginning to let go now.
Thank you. So even though
there's
some of this left.
There's some of this left.
And I have to let it go.
And I have to let it go.
Because I can't live with the intensity of it.
I can't live with the intensity of it.
Is that true?
It's too overwhelming.
It's too overwhelming.
That's the good word. Like feeling totally surrounded by it.
Yeah. It's too overwhelming to feel all of this.
It's too overwhelming to feel all of these things.
And I need to let it go.
And I need to let it go.
And if I let it go.
And if I let it go.
It doesn't mean I don't care.
It doesn't mean I don't care.
It just means that I have more capacity to love.
It just means I have more capacity to love.
And to think clearly.
And to think clearly.
And to think more positive thoughts.
And to think more positive thoughts.
All of these overwhelming feelings.
All of these overwhelming feelings.
Listening to the news.
Listening to the news.
Fear about my dad.
Fear about my dad.
And what could happen.
And what could happen.
It's overwhelming to think about it all.
It's overwhelming to think about it all.
And these overwhelming feelings.
And these overwhelming feelings.
Are not helping me.
Are not helping me.
And they're not helping him.
And they're not helping him.
So I wonder. If I could let go.
If I could let go.
Of a little bit of this intensity.
Of a little bit of this intensity.
A little bit of this overwhelm.
A little bit of this overwhelm.
So that I could feel a little bit calmer.
So I can feel a little bit calmer.
And a little bit lighter.
And a little bit lighter.
And in that state.
And in that state.
Of more calm and light.
More calm and light.
I can think more clearly.
I can think more clearly.
Think about practical actions I can take.
Think about practical actions I can take.
That will support me.
That will support me.
And support him.
And support him.
Even if I'm far away from him.
Even if I am far away from him.
And I can't see him.
And I can't see him.
But while I'm feeling overwhelmed.
When I'm feeling overwhelmed.
I can't think clearly.
I can't think clearly.
And I can't help myself.
And I can't help. Sorry, I missed that.
I can't help myself.
I can't think straight myself.
And it's harder to support him.
And it's harder to support him.
When I'm in overwhelm.
When I'm in overwhelm.
I'm open to the possibility.
I'm open to the possibility.
Of sending my dad.
Of sending my dad.
Vibrant health energy.
Vibrant health energy.
Infusing every cell of his body.
Infusing every cell of his body.
With vibrant health.
With vibrant health.
With whatever is going on with him.
With whatever's going on with him.
Does that feel possible?
It does feel possible.
What else would you like to send him?
Well, he likes to play the piano and paint, so I want him to continue to have the energy to do that.
Sending him the energy and inspiration.
Sending him the energy and inspiration.
To play the piano.
Play the piano.
And paint.
And paint.
And do all the things that nourish his soul.
Do all the things that nourishes his soul.
That make him feel good.
That make him feel good.
So that when he feels good.
So when he feels good.
His immune system is strong.
His immune system will be strong.
And will be able to resist anything coming his way.
And will be able to resist anything coming his way.
Sending him super immunity energy.
Sending him super immunity energy.
And vibrant health energy.
And vibrant health energy.
And inspiration and desire.
And inspiration and desire.
To do the things that make him happy.
To do the things that make him happy.
And say transform and take a deep breath.
Transform.
So when you think about your dad, what's the strongest feeling?
Sorry, I missed that, Tamara.
When you think about your dad now, what's the strongest feeling?
The strongest feeling is that he'll be okay.
Thank you.
He'll feel good.
And what's the level of panic now on a scale from 0 to 10?
2.
2. Thank you. And the feeling, the anxiety?
I'd say 1. It's gone right down.
Thank you. So should we just do, have you got time to do one more round?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so even though
there's
a tiny bit of panic left.
There's a tiny bit of panic left.
And a tiny bit of anxiety left.
And a tiny bit of anxiety left.
I wonder if I can let that go.
I wonder if I can let that go.
So that instead I can feel.
So instead I can feel.
What would you like to feel instead?
Peace, and it's going to be okay. I have to feel positive.
I want peace and positivity energy.
I want peace and positivity energy.
To infuse every fibre of my being.
To infuse every fibre of my being.
Remaining anxiety.
Remaining anxiety.
Infusing peace.
Infusing peace.
Remaining panic.
Remaining panic.
Infusing positivity.
Infusing positivity.
Remaining panic.
Remaining panic.
Infusing peace.
Infusing peace.
More peace.
More peace.
More positivity.
More positivity.
Radiating that into every cell of my body.
Radiating into every cell of my body.
And every fibre of my being.
And every fibre of my being.
With ease and grace.
With ease and grace.
And what colour is that positivity and peace?
I think yellow.
Beautiful. So vibrant yellow positivity and peace.
Vibrant yellow, positivity and peace.
Or is it a vibrant yellow or is it a pale yellow?
Bright.
Bright
Yellow.
bright yellow.
Bright yellow.
And positivity and peace.
Positivity and peace.
Radiating that out into the rest of my day.
Radiating out into the rest of my day.
Into every area of my life.
Into every area of my life.
My health.
My health.
My home.
My home.
My husband.
My husband.
My dad.
My dad.
My EFT practice.
My EFT practice.
In abundance.
In abundance.
And sending that bright yellow.
Sending that bright yellow.
Positivity and peace.
Positivity and peace.
Out into the future.
Out into the future.
My future.
My future.
My dad's future.
My dad's future.
The planet's future.
The planet's future.
And say transform and take a deep breath.
Transform.
So how are you doing?
Good. Really, really good. I'm grateful for the experience today. Very good.
Oh, you're very, very
feel calmer. And I think in my heart, I know it's all going to be okay.
That's wonderful. It's wonderful.
So I will be I obviously tap every day, but I mean, I think I need probably to do more and more to keep this strong feeling of well-being. So I would encourage everyone who's watching this video to just check out Tamara and keep going and keep looking at her videos on YouTube and go for it, because it's helped me and I'm very grateful, and I feel quite emotional now because it's been a journey, but we're here. And thank you for the time today to share with me some personal tapping, Tamara.
You're very welcome. Thank you with your experience.
Oh, I'm losing you.
Thank you for sharing your experience of how EFT helped you with the virus, because I think that is the most important message that we can get out there, that EFT really can make a massive difference. So I'm really appreciative of you coming on and taking the time today to do that. And for anyone watching, do repeat this video as many times as you need to. I've been making videos every single day. I've got over 30 videos. So do check out my Facebook page, EFT Tapping, or on YouTube, Tamara27 UK. There's a video for every theme that I can possibly think of. And if there's a theme I haven't addressed, do let me know, and I will make a video for that too. So in the meantime, keep strong. You can do this. We can all do this. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.